The design, terrible. The product, just awful. Why are you still selling on Etsy? Go work at a corporate job.
Get a real job.
Ugh, I love Karens. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, how are you? If you're not new, hi, how are you? How you guys doing today? Well, probably you're not having a good day because if you came to this video, somebody left you a negative review on Etsy. As new print-on-demand sellers, you're gonna get negative reviews. It's bound to happen. And if you're not getting a negative review at some point, you're probably doing something wrong. Honestly, negative reviews can be good things. They are feedback. They let you know what the customer likes, what the customer dislikes. Obviously, if you're getting multiple negative reviews for a specific listing, then maybe it's the product itself. Negative reviews are always a bad thing, but they also aren't the cat's meow, if you know what I'm saying. So as a new print-on-demand seller myself, I have gotten a few negative reviews. Not a lot though. We ain't getting a lot now. But these are just some of the things that I've done to try to curb the negative reviews or not make it as bad as, you know, you think it is. Don't let one negative review stop you from following your dreams and stop you from escaping the rat race. Please don't do that. Stick around and I'll let you guys pick my brain a little bit. All right, friends, first and foremost, before you jump to conclusions and you start writing a big long response on Etsy and you're gonna respond publicly and you're gonna blast them, gonna get her, first thing you wanna do is you wanna send a message directly to the customer. That is going to go a long way than just responding publicly. What you wanna establish is there validity to what the customer's saying. Was the sweatshirt, you know, actually really bad quality? Was there flyaways all over the sleeves? Was there a stain on the shirt? You wanna address these things first, which is why you message them, so you can understand what the issue is and how you can go about resolving it. Because 9 times out of 10, the customer will let you know what the problem is. Now, if you're new, you don't really know what to say to the customer, so say kind of something along the lines of this. Hi, so-and-so, I'm so sorry to hear that you're unhappy with your product. This is not what we strive for here at whatever the name of your shop is. Is there any way you could send me a picture of what your item looks like? Because sometimes with the printing company, they do have defects and they will replace your item for free. With that message being sent, they understand you're not creating the item. It's a print company, there's defects sometimes, and they could possibly have a faulty item. There's literally a tab in Printify that says issues with your order. Printify will replace the item for free. They just need a picture so they can understand what the issue is. That customer then adjusts their review and it's 5 stars and they'll say what great customer service you had. So if anything, you turned a 1-star review into a 5-star review. Now before you guys freak out, maybe you wanna read the bad review first and maybe understand if it violates any Etsy's policies about leaving reviews. Etsy literally has policies in place. I'll put like a screenshot up on the screen so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about, but they have all these policies like if it contains private information, threats, extortion, spam. So if the customer's review that they left is violating these policies, then they literally can just take that off of your shop. So if it doesn't violate the policies, then we are going to proceed and message the customer. Dun dun dun. The most basic thing, if you want to do this, offer them a refund. If you're new, you have a couple sales and you really don't have a lot of reviews and you get 1 negative review and you maybe have 1 positive review, your star rating is literally gonna go down like to 2.5 stars. Like, do you need 2.5 stars when you don't have any shop rapport at all? No, you don't need that. So, and honestly, if you're kind of in that position, I would just offer them a refund. Even if they don't change their negative review, you're able to publicly respond to that comment and say, I offered the seller a refund, I messaged them, and we had a conversation. That way people understand that you are active as a seller and you're not just like some robot seller, you know what I'm saying? But Nathan, what if they genuinely don't like the product? Well, let's get into it. Let's say you don't want to offer them a refund though, you know? What do you do from there? So this is what I've done. This is what just happened to me recently, and this is kind of what I think you should do, especially if you're a shop and you have some sales, you have some reviews, and you know the customer's low-key kind of threatening to put something in your shop, like, oh, I'm gonna leave a bad review. Okay, Sally, and think of it like this. Bad reviews are just feedback. Feedback is always appreciated, but it's not always concrete evidence. Feedback is subjective, which is why I wouldn't always cower to the customer when they threaten to leave a negative review or threaten to say how you're not a good seller and child, please, stop playing with me. I'm actually going to share a conversation that I had with a customer who was unhappy with her purchase, and just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I did and what I tried to offer. So as you can see in the situation, I really tried to diffuse it. I was like, hi, how you doing, Suzanne? I'm so sorry about the product. Is there any way I could see a picture just so I can see if there's defects? Because if there's defects, like I said earlier, you can get it replaced. She basically responded and was like, thanks for getting back to me. However, she just was unhappy with the quality of the product and she said it's cheap. But as you can see in my message, I said, Suzanne, I'm so sorry, but it's a policy I have. So at the end of the day, she was taking a risk with what she was purchasing. I even offered to give her 50% off her next purchase, like if that's something she was interested in. Now 9 times out of 10, if they're unhappy with the product, they're not gonna purchase again, but still trying to diffuse the situation in any way I can. Like I was trying to be super respectful about it. She wasn't mean or anything. She just was kind of like, oh, well, let other people know like how the product was. Okay, Anne, let them know. Let them know you didn't like it. That's why I'm still getting sales every day. Like, don't play with me, Suzanne. I hope Suzanne isn't like a print-on-demand seller and she's like watching this. In order to save yourself the hassle of having to exchange and do refunds and do all the returns, like I would just do you don't accept returns or exchanges. But this also brings me to my next point, is the importance of shop policies. Like, if I didn't have anywhere listed in my shop policies that I don't accept refunds, I don't do exchanges, I didn't have that listed anywhere, she could have easily been like, well, it's not listed in your policy, it's not listed in this, not listed in that, you know what I'm saying? And then she could have even put that in her review that basically said like, hey, there's nowhere listed on the policies, and he wouldn't return the item to me, and he wouldn't exchange. You know, like she could have easily put that in her review, but because it is listed everywhere in every single listing, like it's her fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault, it's her fault. She just didn't like the product. Okay, yeah, but you know, on my listings it says I don't accept returns or exchanges, you know, so she couldn't have done anything to me from that. That's why it is so important as an Etsy shop owner to fill out your policies, put it in photo cards. If you don't know how to do photo cards, I'll make a whole video about that, trying to establish your brand identity. You gotta let people know, this is my policy, this is what I do in my shop, and I hope that you respect me enough to respect my policies. I feel like most shops I see, they don't accept returns or exchanges, so I feel like most people understand that. But you know, you are gonna get the people that genuinely ask. Like I said earlier, sometimes if you wanna do a return or you wanna do an exchange or you just wanna refund them, that's perfectly fine. But for me, I don't do that because I'm not getting in the habit of getting all these sweaters mailed back to my house and then trying to resell them. We ain't doing that here. That's not really passive income. So that's just kind of some of my tips if I got a bad review. Try to diffuse the situation, try to understand what's going on, maybe offer them some type of discount on your shop. And if you do want to offer them a refund, go ahead for it if it saves you from getting a bad review, especially if you're new. Like I said, I wouldn't read too much into it. Bad reviews are just feedback. If that's the one thing I can have you take away from this video, bad reviews are feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.